cheaper than our producer's underage sister, edgier than the stuff shown on late night television, newer than Kim Kardashian's ex. Live from Orlando, it's Crazy Train Radio.
Back on the air here, and we got our next guest on the line as promised. WWE Hall of Famer Koko Ware. Koko, what's going on, sir?
Hey man, I'm going fine. How you doing?
Hey, every day this side of the ground is a wonderful thing.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's great to be alive, and it's so good to be able to walk on the ground than the ground walking on us.
You know, it was funny. I was just saying that to somebody over the weekend at a charity event I was at. Well, let me get started. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, besides mentioning that same line at an event I was at this weekend, but I was actually going to ask you, what's been going on since we've seen you at the Hall of Fame?
Well, you know, just still trying to survive like everybody else. Thank God we got a new president. I mean, Obama got elected again, and some people happy, some people sad, but life goes on, you know. I just thank God that I'm still here, man, and just being able just to wake up in the morning and thank God for that, and you know, I'm just still rock and rolling with my two kids and all that, and I just thank God, you know, I have my little painting business going on. I do painting and exterior and interior. I have a crew of guys working for me, and of course I get in there and I think I'm more of a painter than they are, because I do a lot more than what they're doing and stuff like that. And, you know, I just thank God, man. He's the head of my life, and I got Jesus in my heart and soul and all, and you know, I'm a musician in the Church of New Shelby Missionary Baptist Church in Collierville, Tennessee, and I just thank God for what He's done. You know, I thank Him for inducting me, made it possible for me. I'm getting all excited here, choked up, because made it possible for me to be in the Hall of Fame, because I got a lot of calls from a lot of my fans all over the world before this happened, and they got a lot of calls when it happened and stuff like that. They were so tickle pink that, hey, man, Koko, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. You was an outstanding performer and stuff like that, and you just really let them tell it, man. You were just an icon for the wrestling business, and it's about time that they honor you in '09 and took you into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, I would also like to think that was a special time for you as well, because of stuff that was going on with your personal life, with your wife dealing with cancer at the time, I believe. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, you know, cancer doesn't discriminate. You know, it goes after everyone. And that's one thing about it. They can't say, well, they only pick on the white race, the black race, the green race, the yellow race. It picks on all of them, on all races. So I experienced that. My wife was 46 years old, and she came down with cancer, with breast cancer. And it went into remission for 1 year. And we thought we was on the recovering side, and the hair was growing back, and and everything, and then she just got to feeling bad again after that 1 year was over, and the cancer came back in the same breath. Normally it goes somewhere else, but it came back in the same breath. And the doctor didn't have time to treat her like he did the first time. And he just couldn't beat it. I mean, it came out like this tiger, the doctor said it was like a wild tiger out in the jungle. He caught the tiger and put him in a cage, and then finally the tiger got out of the cage. And when he got out of the cage, he just went crazy. He just went all over the jungle where they couldn't catch it. They couldn't catch this tiger no more. And then when they did, when they caught the tiger, it was too late to take care of my wife, 'cause at that time the cancer had taken over, and she was just so weak. And of course, her kidneys shut down. They had to do dialysis, and just she had some blockage in her intestines. I mean, just everything just started happening. I took my wife to the clinic to start her treatments, and don't you know, she never made it back home. She never made it back home. I took her from the clinic straight to the hospital to get checked in the hospital, and she stayed in the hospital for 3 weeks, and then that was it. 46 years old, 26 years of marriage was gone.
Wow. Well, with that, like you said, everything that happened, how did the kids handle it? How are you coping now with everything that happened?
Well, you know, when it happened, you know, the kids, of course, they're teenagers, you know, they took it hard, you know, everybody took it hard, and then we finally regrouped and got over. It's been 3 years now. This past September was 3 years. September the 3rd, it was 3 years went by, and we moving on. And in fact, I found another lady friend that I'm talking to, and hopefully that she can be my future wife or companion right now. And it's nothing's out there, nothing promised right now. We're just talking.
Yeah.
And she's very sweet. She's in the church. She's got God in her life, and you know, I had a partner so long. I wanted another partner, another female partner that I wanted. You know, I miss that. I really do. I really miss that. And I tell you, you don't know the feeling. You know, when I lost my mom, I took it hard. When I lost my father, I really took it hard. When I lost my wife, it blew me off the world. It just blew me off the mountain, off the cliff. I was just as lost as a newborn baby coming into this world. I was just lost. I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know anything. And I just pray to God that He walked me through this, you know, one day at a time. And it was just, I mean, you know, you don't know how I feel until it happens to you. What I'm saying, especially with your wife, your partner. What I'm saying, mom and dad, you love them dearly, but this lady here lived with me. She slept with me. She ate with me. We traveled up and down the road together, flying here, flying there, driving here, driving there. But then all of a sudden, all this, it leaves me. You know, just like I'm in the dark. Woke up, I lost everything. And I miss her a whole lot. But you know what? Thank God if she's gone to a better place. No more suffering, no more pain. Don't have to go about taking any more chemo and the chemo treatments, radiation. Don't have to take none of that stuff anymore. She's gone to a better place. In fact, she's probably looking down on us and just smiling and sitting back and waiting. One of these days you'll make it. And we're hoping that we can.
Is there, if there is one, and I don't know because I never dealt with it, like you said, is there a positive thing that you can take out of that situation or that big life lesson?
Is there anything I could take out of that?
That like a positive that you could tell your fans, whether it's get checked or anything. Is there anything you learned through that experience that, you know?
Well, the only thing I learned was I just knew, the only thing I learned about it, how much I depended on her. And it woke me up, because I had to do a lot of things that I wasn't doing, that she was doing for me. And I'm sure there's a lot of husbands out there can say the same thing. Our wife is our manager and our partners. You know, they manage to pay the bills. Some of them, you know, and some men pay their own bills and be the manager of the house and everything. The wives don't do nothing like myself. But you know, but most of the men are married. Their wife is taking care of the bills, and he's the bread maker. You know, he brings all the bread home, and you know, and she go out and pay the bills. You know, and you know what? I didn't have to do that, and that's what that was a hard thing for me to do, was just look like I had to step up to reality. Man, you're all out here, Koko, be Ware by yourself, so you got to step up to reality. And if you don't step up, Koko, be Ware, there's nobody going to step up for you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you talking about that subject there, but let's actually switch things up to back to a more positive thing. More positive side of things for you, and hence what most people know you for is your wrestling career. Probably the most unique thing, and that me personally, I always got a kick out of, and always heard so many funny stories about, was, as everybody knows, Frankie.
Yeah.
Where did you get the idea for Frankie to have your bird as a, sort of a mascot for you in the ring?
Well, that goes back again. My wife was a genius. She was a genius. She came up with the whole idea of the Birdman. I mean, in fact, I was a Birdman, but she came up with the idea of having the bird because she was in a pet store and she saw this blue and gold macaw bird, and she took a picture of it. Back then, I had those Polaroid camera, and so took a picture of it, and she brought it back home and showed it to me and all that. She said, because I had the birds on my tights and stuff. This was all in Louisiana, and so she said, "Oh, you you could you could be the Birdman. You could have take this parrot out with you and stuff like that. Just something totally different. And the kids would love it. They would love you and the bird, you know. It would be like a little package deal. And you kind of be like, you would be just like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and guys like that, you know, that was on top and back in the day and stuff and so you could kind of be on their level with that bird and all your little costumes that you wear, your little capes and all that, tuxedo jackets and all that stuff, flashy. And so, man, you could be right on the top with them. And so we started doing that. I mean, 1986, when I got accepted in the WWE, I had a meeting with Vince McMahon. And at the end of the meeting and stuff, he says, "Is there anything that you'd like to answer with your gimmick, they call?" And I said, "Yes, I would." He said, "What is that?" So I reached in my pocket, like my wife was saying, if the opportunity came up, show him this picture. So I showed him the picture and everything, and he said, "Oh my God, I can't believe another animal. We have a dog. We have a snake." I said, "Man." He said, "What I'm going to do," he said, "you realize you're going to be flying all over the country?" I said, "Yes, but, you know, this bird is going to be my mascot, and I really think the Koko Beware, the Birdman Koko Beware would get over with this whole bird gimmick, would get over with the right music and all this stuff. And thank God for Jimmy Hart. And Jimmy Hart had helped me with some music. We came out with my gospel group singing it, "Bird, bird, bird, do the bird, bird, bird." And I'm singing on it, and man, it turned out to be great, you know. So that's how it became. That's how the Birdman got discovered. Also, my wife came up with the idea, and I presented to Vince McMahon, and he loved it.
Well, since you actually brought it up, how was the travel with Frankie? How difficult was that?
It was, you know, I had to get used to him. It was, you know, because I was carrying my luggage and carrying his cage and carrying another bird stand around and inside of a luggage, real heavy. I mean, it took some work, but, you know, I was really motivated. I was determined that I wanted to make this work, and here's my opportunity, and I got a chance to do that. And you know what? And I'm telling you, I took the chance. And when they gave me an opportunity, I took the chance and the opportunity to make that's the reason why I'm where I'm at today, because I took that opportunity up. You know, whatever they gave me, I took it and ran with it. You can ask even, oh golly, Jimmy Hart was one of my best friends and stuff, and he could tell you, Koko just took that bird gimmick and he ran with it, and he didn't care who toes he stepped on. If Vince McMahon gave him a shot to be on top, and he was letting it rock.
Well, actually, I did, and maybe you can confirm this, one more Frankie thing I want to bring up. I heard a couple of years ago an old story when you were on the road with the WWE at the time, an old Pedro Morales story, thinking it was you saying good morning and all after a late night out, but ends up it was Frankie just waking up in the morning and kept saying hello, hello. But Pedro ended up breaking down your hotel door.
Right. Well, see what happened, and I wanted to say this on the Hall of Fame about Pedro. Pedro was all day long when I first got the bird and everything. You know, Pedro would come up and ask me, "Koko, man, that's a beautiful bird." I said, "Yeah, amigo." I said, "Okay." He said, "Koko, does this bird talk?" I said, "No, he don't talk right now, amigo." I said, "When we get to Buffalo, I'm going to a pet store and I'm going to buy a tape. And that way it can repeat itself and all this stuff. And then that way, then he can, you know, he can learn how to talk and stuff like that. I got to work with it. Pedro goes, oh yeah, I think he talks. I think he can talk. I said, yeah, but I don't know if he can talk. He hadn't seen anything yet, Pedro. So that night, I guess around about 9:30, 10 o'clock or something, I put the tape on, and it lasts probably like an hour, 2 hours or something. And it repeats itself. Hello, hello, hello. And just so happened, Pedro Morales his room was next door, and the walls were real thin. I'll never forget it. Howard Johnson, Buffalo, New York. And, of course, Pedro was already, I guess, at the restaurant, the bar somewhere. You know, they had restaurant bars together and all that. I guess he was feeling pretty good that night. And I passed him going, he was going to his room, and I was going to the restaurant, the bar or something, and we passed each other. And then Pedro said, Migo Koko, where's that dirty bird at? I said, oh, he's back in the room there, Pedro. Oh, okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. I said, okay, amigo. All right, you know. And so, when Pedro I guess when he must have got in the room, and he was sitting there on the bed, and then he could hear the tape going. Hello? 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 Pedro starts saying hello back to the tape. Hello? Hello? Then Pedro was getting upset because it kept saying hello. And then Pedro said, all right, you damn bird, I told you, I said hello to you, bird. I hear you over there saying hello. Okay, I said hello to you. Okay, so, I said hello to you, bird. All right, bird, I'm saying hello. Hello, hello. Now shut the heck up. Now shut the heck up, bird. Bird, at this time, Pedro said he's beating on the wall. I told you, shut up, bird. You keep saying hello and hello. I done told you 10,000 times. Stop saying, I done said hello to you. You still saying hello. Hello, hello, Pedro. Oh, he just went crazy, beating on the wall. And then the next morning, in the lobby, I saw Pedro. He was in the lobby there talking. And Pedro said, Koko. I said, yeah, Pedro. I thought you told me that bird couldn't talk. I said, he can't. Bull. That's a bunch of bull. I can't believe that's a bunch of bull. That bird kept me up all night long. He will say hello, I will say hello. He will say hello, I say hello. He say hello, I say hello. I'm beating on the wall, he still say hello, I say hello. He said hello, I said, Koko, he kept me up for a whole couple of hours or whatever. That bird can talk, I don't care. You didn't go get no tape. You didn't go to no animal thing to buy a tape. That bird can say hello just as good as me and you. And I could never convince him that was a tape. And man, I told the story to Pat Patterson and a bunch of guys, and everybody was on the floor laughing, just back and forth to Pedro. And at this day, he still believes my bird Frankie could talk.
Forget where I heard that. I think it might have been prior to the Hall of Fame, but I just found that, just picturing Pedro sitting in the hotel room, going crazy over it.
Oh, Pat wanted me to say in the Hall of Fame, but we didn't have enough time. And I guess what Pat did, he said, heck with the time, just get it out, just say it.
Well, you were actually, if we fast forward a couple years there, were part of something special at the Survivor Series and being, I guess you could say, first victim to The Undertaker's tombstone. Looking back now, could you actually see Taker being as special as he's become over time?
Yes. I knew Mark, I remember when he started and all that, and his career just is unbelievable. I mean, it just made him a ton of money, and I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him that he got a gimmick that can last, golly, you know, a long time. He has a gimmick that can last a long, long time. And I was the first one that took the tombstone, and believe it or not, that was his first time giving the tombstone. And
wow.
And at the time, he was green about giving it, and I wish he could have. Well, I don't wish he could have expressed it on someone else, but I wish I wasn't the first one that took the tombstone, because it kind of almost cracked my neck a little bit. And I know he wasn't trying to do that, but he just didn't know how to do it perfectly like he can do it now.
Well,
I
like
can
you
take
said,
them all.
nothing happened.
Pardon me?
Like you said, luckily nothing serious happened with it.
Right. You know, and at this damn time now, I could take him all day, because I know he know how to do it now. And he was probably nervous because he wanted to, that was his first debut on WWE. You know, he's trying to impress everybody, you know, especially McMahon's and all that, looking at him. And I'm sure Mark was a little nervous. And he just came down a little bit too hard on me, because I didn't have nowhere to go with my head just straight down to the mat. It wasn't no popping hitting it on the side or anything like that. It drove my head down to the mat. It took me a while to get myself back together again.
Well, obviously it wasn't something that you, where I think in sports and in entertainment and wrestling, whatever you want to look at, were looked at. But did you end up with any kind of like concussions or anything because of that incident?
Well, I think I ended up kind of just a little small concussion, you know, but it wasn't nothing really to, you know, we was that type of wrestlers, you know, that we'd kind of go through the pain for several days and stuff like that before we even go to the doctor and stuff like that. But, you know, and hope knock on wood that everything came out okay. And I just hope it don't come back to hunt me, you know, as I get older.
Well, how do you feel now that you've been out of the ring for the most part, as you're getting older?
I feel good. I really feel good. I'm still active. I can still get in the ring and work, you know, but not as high flyers like I used to. But Lord, I couldn't do the things they're doing now, you know, coming off having ladder matches and jumping over the top, diving over the top rope and all this stuff. I couldn't do that now, but I'm sure back in the day, if I had a thought about that, ooh, man, I would have been red hot.
That's for sure. But like you said, as you've gotten older, I think most people tend to do it, such as your takers and everybody else, not just yourself. But as everybody gets older, they seem to work a little smarter. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, you got to work smart. If you don't, your bones are not gonna let you do it. Your joints, the thing. You know, it's just like you're not a spring chicken. You just an old rooster.
And we're not talking red rooster either, but
right. You're not talking red rooster. You're talking about you're just an older rooster.
Yeah. Well, probably the most interesting thing for me with you, and I definitely think he should be in the Hall of Fame, was your tag team partner, Owen Hart. Got any good Owen stories, obviously?
Well, I don't really, you have to get around the British Bulldog, Dynamite and Davey. Well, you can't get around Davey Boy, but Dynamite probably got a whole lot of stories of Owen Hart. I just know Owen Hart was just, he was cheap. He was so tight that he squeak when he walks. And so, but he never did like to spend a dime. He would just never did rental cars. He wouldn't even get a rental car by himself at all. It killed him if he got a rental car by himself. So he always caught rides and stuff. And that's the only thing I can say. But he's most definitely needs to be in the Hall of Fame. But I don't think his wife or stuff like that don't want him to. She don't want him to be no part of the Hall of Fame of the wrestling period. My understanding that they're not allowed to even mention his name on air.
Yeah, and that's a shame, because the guy should be remembered for what he did.
Yeah, I know, but the way it happened, and I guess you can see that, but just the way it happened, it is not good for the family. It's not good for his kids. Just let it go. I mean, it happened, and you know what? It still hurts my heart now that knowing that this, I don't know, someone told him to jump and then he didn't have the safety thing around him. Ugh. And don't you know that blue blazer outfit? I wore that blue blazer outfit. I was the only one that he would let wear that blue blazer outfit one time. I think if you run the tape back, I ran down the ring and took back when Jeff Jarrett was in the ring with the guitar. And I took the guitar and busted over Shamrock's head. And with the blue blazer, and everybody was calling me the black blazer come through there, the black and blue blazer or whatever. But that was the same outfit that Owen was kind of deceased in. And I really hated it to happen, because we was good partners big time.
Yeah, but like you said, I can understand both sides of the spectrum there, from the family aspect and, obviously wanting to see him be honored. But, well, what actually led to, in '94, not too long after High Energy, what led to your departure from the company?
Well, you know what? That was part of Vince McMahon doing, without a notice. That's the only thing I hated. He didn't give me proper notice to leave. Just woke up one day, didn't have no bookings, didn't have a job.
Wow. So, but, let's loop around to where we started with this interview, though, to wrap this up with the Hall of Fame. Was it Vince that called you to offer you the Hall of Fame, or how did that go down?
No, Vince never called anyone unless you Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant or somebody. Unless you done something wrong, then he would call you. There was what's his name? John Laurinaitis?
Yes.
John Laurinaitis?
Yes, sir.
He called me and said we're planning on doing this and keep everything quiet and all that stuff. That you're gonna be surprised. Everybody's gonna be shocked to have you in the Hall of Fame.
Nice. Well, and it was, now did you get to choose Honky Tonk to induct you, or was that your call, or was that their call?
It was their call. I didn't get to choose on anything. Only thing I got to choose on, well, there was one thing I got to choose on. I already had my speech made out. They didn't have to tell me what to say and stuff like that. And after I read it to them, and they liked it. They said, it's good. That's good. That was very good. Of course, my wife wrote it out.
Yeah, but it's a shame that, because we heard that from somebody else, that they tried to push for one of their writers to write about your career, your memories, just everything, which I don't think is right.
No, you can't. They can't do that. I mean, it's got to be that person, you know.
And like you said, it was you and your wife that put together that speech, and we're up and down the roads and everything.
Right, and I had her, and she just wrote it out, and we put it all together, and cause I told her, I said, I wanted to remember, I want the fans to remember, and I wanted the people that helped me to remember, and I wanted the people from my little hometown remember that I didn't forget about them, from Union City, Tennessee, where I started, at a little town with, at that time, was 10,000 population, 10,000 people, and so, but I was just so happy, and I said that in my speech that, I want to thank God for all the people there in my hometown that helped me, and all the promoters of all over the country, for the little folk promoters that helped me on these little small places that didn't have a camera, but I was getting extra training from. I'm talking about, I just asked for, I wanted to mention, I told her I want to mention everybody that I can think of. A lot of the lady wrestlers and managers and things, I just wanted to mention all of them. A lot of promoters, you won't even know. If I mentioned their name, you wouldn't know them. But I want to thank them for giving me that chance. Then I want to thank the WWE for giving me that opportunity to be a superstar all over the world. For giving me that. A little black boy come from a little small town with one red light, one policeman, one grocery store, one post office, a train running through the community and stuff like that, and take me from that little country town all the way to New York City, all the way to Houston, Texas, all over the world. That's what made me feel good. Because you know what, I didn't have a clue that I would be traveling to New York City, the Big Apple, Manhattan, the Boston, being in the Boston Garden, being in Chicago, just different places, California. I never did think I would be traveling like it. Hawaii, Japan. I've been around the world in my life. Like, man, it took me around the world in my life 4 times. 4 times around the world. Golly, that's not going to happen now. But, I just thank God that God was watching over me, because we traveled a whole lot of water. We went over to a lot of foreign countries and things like that. Don't you know, when the WWE got finished with me, it's just like I was on a roller coaster, and they just finally, the roller coaster came back to my front door. It picked me up at my front door, my little small town, and they let me off back on my little front porch. And then the roller coaster took on off, and they was all the wrestlers and stuff like that that was still on that roller coaster. They was waving, "Bye, Koko. Bye. Thanks a lot. You did a great job." That's what I remember. And it makes
sure it gives you a lot of good stories for your kids too, Koko.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and sometimes, a lot of times I tell you, it just makes tears come out of your eyes for all the memories that my parents got a chance to see me. I wish they could have got a chance to see me get inducted into the Hall of Fame, but they got a chance I got a chance to take my dad and mother to the wrestling matches and stuff like that. But, I still love this business. I love you for
last question
interviewing me.
Is there any? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I love you for interviewing me right now, and that, believe it or not, that means a whole lot to me, because you don't have. There's other wrestlers out there. You could have chose whoever you wanted to choose, but I was the chosen one, and I want to thank you for it.
Well, we thank you for your time, Koko. That's most important. But my final question for you would be, because obviously there's a lot of people out there that have great memories of you and all. Is there anything out there that people, or a way people can reach you if they want to communicate, whether it's through the internet or see where you're going to be if you're making any appearances or anything?
You know what? I thought I had a Facebook up one time, but it was, I was letting someone else to do my Facebook, and I don't know if they still have it, but I'm not going to even say it because I don't even know it. I don't know if it's still up right now.
Okay. Well, we will definitely I'll have to see if there's a way we can help you out and have something like that again we know is legit and people can reach out and communicate with you somehow. So,
right.
Koko, thank you for a few minutes tonight. We appreciate it, and good luck with the painting company and just everything that you got going on right now.
I was trying to pull up this Facebook thing. I don't know if you might can look at it here. If I can, I'm trying to pull it up here now.
Well, I'll get the link off you, and we will make sure we get it out there through our own Facebook and our website and everything else like that. We'll get the link off you and promote it for you. Koko, thank you so much.
Thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you, Koko.
All right. Bye-bye.